Turning now to a fascinating discovery that's giving the modern world its closest look at one of the darkest periods in history. For the first time ever, divers have uncovered the wreckage of an African slave trade ship that sunk with slaves on board. The Portuguese ship, called the São José, left the coast of Mozambique in December 1794, bound for Brazil, with about 400 to 500 enslaved Africans packed inside. 24 days later, the ship went down off the coast of Cape Town, with half of them still trapped inside. The wreckage sat at the bottom of the sea, untouched, until a team of treasure hunters located in the 1980s. Well, for the first 5 years, a team of researchers and archaeologists have quietly worked to recover the artifacts, many of which have remained remarkably intact. Now, some of those artifacts representing the earliest days of the slave trade are heading to the United States, and they will be displayed at the Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture when it opens next year. And joining me now, the director of the museum, Lonnie Bunch. Lonnie, it's so great to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
I think you might remember the first conversation we had about this and how excited I was at the dinner table when you told me about the possibility that this would happen and it would be revealed to us all, and here we are now. Can you explain to those who perhaps don't fully understand why this find is so remarkable?
Well, the slave trade is something we all know about, but we really don't have tangible evidence of it. And so much research about slavery has been done, but the area that we don't know anything more about is really the slave ship itself. And so to be able to actually find a ship that foundered with enslaved Africans on board will tell us a lot, and to be able to bring that back to Washington is very special.
And we talked about the treasure hunters who located it in the 80s. What was that process like? How did they, or what drew them to that site?
Well, I think that this is a site that's near the Cape of Storms, so a lot of ships have gone down, and I think treasure hunters always felt that they could find some gold or something very important, and when they couldn't, they kind of left it alone. But we were fortunate to be able to work with the best scholars to revisit the site, to do the research, and to be sure that it is the São José.
When they discovered what they believed to be the ship, there were a few key things that you told me that indicated that it was human cargo on board that ship, including weights that were used on these ships, because bodies and humans weigh and shift boats differently than if this were cargo of fruit or other things.
That's exactly right, that they use an iron ballast, and often there was an equal number of iron ballast to the number of people that they put on board. And so one of the telltale signs of a slave ship is that it has this kind of ballast, because human cargo doesn't have the weight that, say, wood does or metal.
And what do we know happened that day? I know that some of the men and women who were enslaved and on that ship, they were saved, and not because their lives were precious as humans, but because they were cargo and they meant money.
That's exactly right. As the ship was hitting the rocks and was going down, there was a great effort to rescue the cargo because they were worth so much money to the owners. And ultimately what happens is that all the crew and almost half of the enslaved people are rescued, but half perish when the ship goes down. But what is even more painful is those that are rescued are then sold 2 days later from Cape Town and dispersed throughout South Africa.
And this has been a delicate balance, is that we want to show people these artifacts here in the United States and bring them to this museum that you've given your life and soul to curate, but also for those of Mozambique and what this means for them to have this ship recovered.
What was so powerful to me is that I spent the last couple of weeks in Mozambique and in Cape Town, and I went to an area of the Makua people, and these are the people, many of who were on this ship. And some of the village elders then actually gave us soil that they wanted me to take back and sprinkle over the site of the wreck, because as the chieftain said, this will finally allow our people to rest in peace in their homeland.
And lastly, before I let you go, again, I said this was a labor of love. The museum will have so much history, but you've made this beautiful point over and over, including when you were on 60 Minutes, that this is not Black history. This is not African American history. This is our history, meaning Americans, and it's a celebration and a reflection of those painful moments as well.
In some ways, this is the quintessential American story, because this is the story that has shaped us all. And what my hope is that people realize that the African American experience is their story, regardless of who they are.
Well, I cannot wait for the opening, and I so look forward to being there when those doors open for all of us. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.